2, 3. 3 circles. 1, 2, 3. Other way. 1, 2, 3. Middle. 1, right. 2, left. Middle. Up. Drop.
Okay. So if we can get you to remember at least 3 of them, it'll be good. Any questions for the first one? Anybody? You come up out center. All right, let me do one thing real fast. A lot of people might, and this is the thing where when we do traditional, we tell people that still combat, because all that twisting of your hip, turn your hip. All the twisting of your hip is all that turn your head around. So that's the whole purpose of all that movement right there with the weight. Okay. Now, the next one, we're going to go with it's called warm-up number 2. Our right hand comes right up the center. And then we go all the way up until it can't go anymore, and then it comes down like that, and we breathe. So we go up again, breathe in, and we breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Now we're going to add another part. We're going to come up, and this hand is going to come up. So once again, this one's going to come in here. This one's going to come around and go back there and make what we call a crane's beak. You're going to bend your knees, step out on a 45-degree angle, and try to make your elbow touch your toe. And we step back in once again. We breathe in. Out. Hook. Hook. Bend. And we step back. Once again. One more time. Breathe in. Up. Here. And bend. Right. So now, normally what we do, I'm going to confuse you. Most people get confused. So we're going to go to the right side. And out. Then we're going to go to the left side. Then we go back to the right side. Mr. John, come right here and lead him 10 times. Mr. Richard, can you stand right here too so they can see? Yeah, but let me come here real quick. Want to go over there with it? Okay, so we're going to move back on. This is what we're trying to do. Can you demonstrate this camera? That's what the ultimate goal is. To try to make our elbow touch our toe. And one of the things that we could do, even when we stretch it, because we can hold it longer. Everybody, let's step up and let's go here. grab with one hand, and you up and then breathe. Come on, Jordan, I know you can do it.
Now it's last week. Well, next week.
Good. Okay. So let's go back to number 1. Thank you. So once again, a breathing exercise. Thank you, Mr. John. Coming up. As soon as we come up, we're going to turn to the right. Complete turn. When you feel a stretch in your hips. That same turn. Now we bring it down to our chest. And we touch. Do a stretch. And then we come back up. And then we come back here. And we come back here. And then we back up, over, and down. Right hand, because it moves just like a kata. Left hand comes up. Bend your knees, step out, stretch. Step back in. And we step back in. Other side. Last ones. Number 7. Okay, so he can come in just for a little bit because he didn't know the class. So the other thing, just I think it go back to the traditional and the contemporary. Even when you get that MMA guy coming in or somebody coming in for combat and saying that, well, all this is not effective. We know that this is a block, go punch. Okay, and we know that because most people, this is the important thing. Because it allows us to still hold on to the traditional and the old and the new. Most people don't know that they should be coming up their center line. So it allows us to protect our center line. So that's why when we come up, we come straight up like that. We let it go all the way up until they can't go anymore. And the key to the internal is following the hands. So the whole purpose of the internal arts for a lot of older people that come in, they want to get coordinated so when they fall, they can be able to balance themselves and not injure themselves. So when the hands and the eyes and the breathing is all coordinated, it allows them to be able to focus on that. So that was warm-up number 1, warm-up number 2. Now we're going to go to number 3. Start from here in the horse stance. Okay. Now what we do, we shift our weight back, keeping our heels on the floor. Then we come back here. Then we shift back, turn the hips in, feet flat on the floor, back straight. And come back to the center. Then we shift back again. Then we come back to the center. Then we shift back. We come back, hands to your hip, and then shift. That's the proper way you do. Keep your back straight, and then come back, and then shift. Okay? So we come back. Let's put it together just like we in the class. Warm-up number 1. Then we turn 3 times. To the left. And then center. Number 2, flow. 3 more. Keep going. Now we go to the number 3. Let's go to one stance, and then we drop. Back, drop. Back, drop. Back, drop. Come back to the center, drop. Back to the center, and drop. Now bring your feet back together. Don't grab our hip. Right leg back, Kung Fu stance, or front stance. And we want to make sure this leg is under this shoulder, and bend your knee, and look up to the ceiling and count to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more times, Mr. Marco. And then back, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then relax. Okay. So another component, because anytime we do anything, it's all about combat. So in jiu-jitsu, we have a move where the person goes down, and it's called knee to belly. Okay? So that same movement that we're doing right here, if somebody said that doesn't make any sense, well, that's a knee to belly. Or if we were doing a takedown here, it's a kneeling self-defense technique. Because if you think about it, Mr. Richard, go down. If a person doesn't have strength in their leg, if I go here and he starts moving, go ahead, move, get up. All right, now we're back here. Lay that back down. Now if I got strength in my leg, now move. So those are the things that I think allow us not to lose our traditional and bring back in our modern. Okay? Any questions? Want to go back again from memory, Mr. Herde? We good? All right. We're going to go to the next. Take a deep breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Step out. Hands up. Flow. Flow. It's a figure 8 with your hips and your hand. You have a big beach ball on the beach. Big beach ball. Making a figure 8 with your hips. Keep flowing. Keep flowing. Keep flowing. Keep flowing. Now, what you can do, if you was doing this and you said a beginner, because what happens in Tai Chi is the only art where you can't think. When you think, you get in trouble. In internal arts, there's no mind. You have to be empty. So what happens when we tell a person to do this, and you tell them to do that, what happens, Mr. Richard?
Start thinking about the moves.
The ultimate level in martial arts is not to think. And even in life, is not to think. You got to become one with whatever's going on. So what we do to eliminate the hands, we just roll the hips. In and out. Figure 8. Yep. Let's do 10 more of those. Keep working. Keep flowing. Keep flowing. Keep flowing. Reach those hips up. Now we're going to come back. So another practical reference point that we help, to even help a person, we just say step up and do a front stance. Go. Rock back. And then go to your horse stance. So that's still a figure 8 that we're doing like that. But we gave them 3 different variations to try to get them to realize the benefit. Because even though the internal arts is important, and I don't care who we are, you're going to need internal one day in your life. I don't care how bad you are, someday you're going to need internal. But you got to be able to let go of everything else. So what we start doing for the big bad guys who want to fight, we bring this so they'll be able to see the practicality of it. For an older person, or for somebody like Mr. Richard, who's really smart and he always wants to think, and Mr. Green, we say take the mind out and just do this right here. And then eventually we'll bring this in right here. Okay. So let's go back here. Step your left leg back. Just try 2 more. Switch outside. So one of the things, all right, one of the things that what we want to do whenever we open up, basically when we open up, you're digging down into the ground to pull out everything that's negative in your life. Every bad problem, everything that didn't happen in the day, you dig down and imagine your hands are like a shovel, digging down. And you're pulling it up through your toes, through your calf, through your thighs, through your abdominals, through your chest, through your neck, through your eyes, and you let it out. So that's why we start off with the breath. Let's try that one more time. We're going to go 3 times. Bring it in. Let it go. The slower, the more residue you get out. We don't want to leave anything negative in our body. For that one moment, we want to eliminate everything, every problem, whenever it can be, every bill. We got to let it go. Now, once we done did that and you done started your class, when we end the class, this is what we do. We go back. Now we bring all the positive in the universe back into our body. 3 times. Let's go 1 more. and shake it out. Okay? So that's the individual. We have a little young lady in class. She's autistic. She's probably one of our best kung fu kids. Would you say?
Yes, sir.
She don't speak. You can't touch her. We don't touch her. We don't speak. Maybe you see she remembers every move in Tai Chi. Okay? So a lot of times just the motion and what we're doing, and that's the only thing she wants to do. You do that in the class, Mr. Marco. But I recognize by working with her, I can't touch her. The moment I touch her, and I think that's the other thing of us being a good teacher or running a school, we got to know what we can't do, and we can't force her. As much as I know that she will not let me touch her, I will not force her to let me touch her. So when we do individual drills where we come together and touch each other, I'll let her go ahead and wander and do whatever she wants to do. It doesn't matter. But generally, she just sits there and watches her do her Tai Chi. And I think that's the mark of being able to teach and be aware of those surroundings. What we're going to do now, but we got some guys, like the guys, they want to touch. We realize that the highest level of combat is touch. The reason why most people don't understand jiu-jitsu is all about feel. When I choke you out is when I can't feel you. When I lock you is when I can't feel you. As long as we moving and touching, so it ain't nothing new. As long as we moving and touching, his object is to throw me off and then get in and lock me, which is the same thing as sticky hands. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to step back in the stance like this to watch. My object is to off-balance him. His object is to flow, but he needs to calm down. He's a little hype. The goal is just to calm. Once again, it's a nice little interaction with the student to allow them to work on their breathing, not to get so tight, to stay calm, and even go lower. So his hand, it goes like this. When I push this in, he has to let it go so I can't lock it to his abdominal. So he got to work his hip. But you got, when he comes around, his hand still got to control my hand. Come this way. So when I push, and when he pushes, I roll. And then I boom. And then I roll. And we go, and then I roll. Okay? Let's try to go partners. And it's not for you, it's for the student. I can't know how many people come in here that we ain't counting them kids. Let's go with Mr. Go one of them.
Everybody get a partner.
Work them here. Go back, go back. You have to roll. Boom. Good. Go right to that belly button, Mr. Jerry. Boom, with your palm. Yes, there you go. Good. There you got to work. Good. There we go. Good. There we go.
I got it.
You got to do the same thing, Mr. Mom. You got to try to lock your hand into the abdomen. Yeah, you roll, Mr. Jerry. There you go. Take your palm and turn it around. Yeah, go. Good.
Oh, keep that roll though.
Keep
Keep that
working.
touch on the wrist. So push his wrist into his belly. Yeah, don't let him do it. I like it. I see the motions. Let's go back. Do it again. Do it again. Don't let him back you up though. Don't let him back you up. Oh, keep it balanced, man. Keep it balanced, man. There you go. Push that into his belly. Oh yeah. Don't let him roll.
So everybody, look. With me and Mr. Jerry, I think sometimes we go and we learn something and we keep it so simple that it stops here. Quick, Jerry, push. You stop there and then you keep on going. We missed the deep meaning. You gotta lock it into the abdominal. Push it there, Jerry. If the person don't know how to roll their hips, how you gonna redirect the negative energy? Just stop thinking about the opponent and think about the energy. When it comes, we gotta throw it back at the person. That's why it's called redirect. See, throw it back. Don't grab a hold of that negativity. And that's what we teach the student. Let it go. Don't hold it. You're going to do some snake or something. All right,
Let's go.
let's go a couple more seconds and we're going to do another one. Yeah, you can do the other side. That's the bad side.
I get it.
Mr. Marcus. Good. Move that leg back. Okay, So now we're going to move on, Mr. Mongo. So once again, it's still internal, where even if we do one little drill in the class, remember it's not the Tai Chi form. A lot of people say, I want to learn Tai Chi. Well, there's only one form. You can say that for 4 years, but there's only one form. That's all it really is. What we do, we break it down in segments, and we bring in other basics. That's why we call it internal fitness. We don't call it Tai Chi class. So anything dealing with internal, we work on. So let's go. Now this is Filipino stick fighting. Everybody thinks that it don't have anything to do with internal. It does. It's all about flow. We roll. See, so watch how we roll. See how I'm rolling? What I'm trying to do is touch his shoulder. He can't let me touch. But if I had a knife, boom, I'll be doing the same thing. So all these arts, just flow, don't lock. Just keep going. Yep, go. That's what we're doing. Keep the roll. Give me roll. Like on the turn, it's like just DJing, man. You flow. Boom, boom. Then when you break the rhythm, that's the scratch. All right, ready? Let's go, people. Touch, roll. But keep both hands up. Roll, cover. So when you come back, cover, then push. Then I like that. So it's good. Boom. Remember, we'll get this to the 1, 2.
Oh, got you. Got you. Slick with it.
So here, I'm going to go one, put that hand up. You go 1, 2, you catch with that hand. Yeah. No, catch with that. Yeah, and then check with that. Catch with that, check. Here.
Oh, good one. Oh, got it.
Okay. So touch me. You catch, and check, and hit.
Oh, yeah.
And then catch again.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Boom, and then check. Right there. And then hit. Catch. When you catch that, let your palm go out like this. Pop. There you go. Now go over top. Boom. Yep, go. Go to the left. There we go. There you go, man. The key is not to drop. Because remember the moment, when we teach them, the moment we lose contact, it's going to hit you. I got to keep contact. So you roll catch with that one. Check. Got to keep going. Don't watch this. Catch with that one. And then catch with that one again. That one, yeah. You got it. Keep going. Good. Feel it? Keep working. Get past that.
I got it.
And you catch. And check. And touch. Yeah, boom. That's it. Good.
Now I'm redirecting it still, but I'm still keeping him where I want to.
Outside.
Stop letting him let you over.
You got to block outside. Yes.
See, I love
Outside.
I know he is strong. I'm trying to tell you. He in a
All right, everybody, relax for a second. What's up, Mr. Richard? A little slow. So everybody relax. What we're doing is a little slow, man. You know what's happening? We think, as Bruce Lee always would say, we always want to block with this, but this is faster. So that's what we're trying to show you, regardless of where that's at, let him go and punch. Why not come back with that? Okay, so what we're doing, even in a combat level, touch me, catch, check, hit. Relax. Don't let your power go or your touch go until you're an inch away, then go. And the other thing, when he goes to hit your shoulder, if the shoulder's not there, you can't touch it. What we're doing, we stop it right here. This is not Kung Fu, this is internal arts. It's just redirecting negative energy. Let's think about negative energy coming. I'm going to let it go by, and then I'm going to go forward. So let's do it again. Try it one more time, then I'm going to show you another. But you got to roll. Look how I'm rolling. Don't block like this. Roll. roll. Let's try it again. I'm gonna do one more to keep it count. All those people. Oh, John. All right, so how we doing? All right, Mr. John, give me a second. This is what makes it so fun. You don't have to spoil the time. All right, ready, go touch. Go. What I'm doing there is a punch. So now you got the rhythm going. It's all rhythm. Let's try it. Go. When you go, you should be doing the same thing. That beat is a punch. So rather than thinking about a punch, you got to be ready to go to punch. Same thing. But when you go here, you confuse this man. You look at him, look at his face. Confuse yourself, huh? Just when you go out here, when you go out, is that. Don't let it drop. Keep it up. Yeah, keep it up. Yep, go. Roll back. Stop dropping the hand. Good. Pop up. Okay, so Mr. Marco, we're going to go again. Here's the beautiful thing about this. Do you know that when you keep your hand up, your elbows start hurting? The drill is so much fun, but it forces you when you fight now to keep your hands up. Okay? All right. So now what we're going to switch to another. We're going to go check, check. Filipino. Pop. Pop. But you got to be relaxed. Pop. What's the last thing a man would get on the street? Smack, right? Anybody want to get smacked? Especially smack backhand. That's nah. All right, so watch. So from here, the same motion, we're going to go 1, 2. Here, you're going to catch with a soft, we call it the female hand. And then come under, cover, check, smack. 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 Okay? And then we'll take a break and go to the next one. Relax. When you think about it, then become confused. Touch. Down. Now smack. Catches. Then he comes under. Cover. Smack. Nope. You come under. Cover. Smack. Come under. Cover. Smack. Come under. Cover. Smack.
There you go.
Touch. So keep that hand belly. So you come under. And then push down with that hand and smack it down. Yep. And then I come under. You keep your hand catch. Boom. Come under. Down. And then under.
Even if they still pass your hand, you go out like this, guaranteed they will still pass.
Yeah, sorry, yo. It's all the time. Good, good.
That's right.
So, Mr. Marco. Good.
What is that? Yes, sir. What style do you like?
A break, like a 3 minute. All right, so everybody, real fast. What do you think? I mean, and I'm mainly talking to us as like adults, as teachers and leaders. When, you know, and I don't promote that bad thing, but the brand that everybody know my story. When you was locked in a jail cell for 23 hours, what else could you do?
Visualize.
Breathe. You can't count the days. You can't think about home. Bruce Lee did it at the end of the Dragon. Remember that move, that part when he went, all the cages came down? What did he do?
Sat down.
He sat down and he came calm. But we know in a fight, this is the whole point of MMA. The calm, cool, and collect person is going to do what? Will win. So this is where the world is going. As Master Brown say, how much more blood can we see? At some point, now there's no more blood. It's so much blood and so much violence, there's no other way to go, naturally. But what? To softness. Lack of blood, you know, and then it'll go back and come back again. But what we want to do is be on the cutting edge and be ready for it when it comes. So these basic little drills. The other thing is that they say that even if we took a basic front kick and did it, it's not the technique that makes it Tai Chi. It's the breathing that makes it Tai Chi. So even if we just did a basic, we all know this is harder than doing a fast front kick. So even if you did if we call it an internal class where everything's just going to be slow, focused, and we say get down on your knees and let's do slow push-ups. We know most people can't even do 5 of them. So that's the concept. Why we trying to learn it? Just to get into that mindset. And when we do point MMA, even in the ring, I'm looking for anger. Everybody know when I'm judging, that's why I always make kids do a dap. Because I see it getting heated. So if I break that flow, I say, give him a dap, give him a hug. Then it brings them back down and make it go. The problem that we can't control, that we have a hard time with is who? The devils. They just want to, you know, guys just want to kill each other. But the ultimate goal is to make them do a dap, make them hug it out, and then that anger is gone and out the way. Any questions about the internal? Because we're going to go right into the external now.